If you're over 50 and still starting your day with this, you might be doing more damage than you realize. And no, it's not what you think. Frank had always believed his morning ritual was the healthy way to kick off the day. He'd wake up at 6:30 a.m., stretch a little, then pour himself a tall glass of chilled orange juice. It was his go-to since college, sweet, refreshing, full of vitamin C, or so he thought. But just 30 minutes later, Frank would start to feel foggy. His hands would shake slightly when reaching for his coffee. By 11 a.m., his energy crashed hard, and by 2 p.m., he was nodding off at his desk. The weird part? Frank wasn't doing anything wrong, at least that's what he believed. But what he didn't realize was that this one simple habit, that glass of juice, was flooding his system with sugar. And as men age, the way the body processes sugar changes drastically. Especially when it's the first thing hitting your bloodstream after a night of fasting. What Frank didn't know is that this early sugar spike messes with your insulin, testosterone, and even blood flow to certain very important areas of the body. Yes, those areas. You see, men after 50 already face declining levels of testosterone and nitric oxide, both crucial for energy, mood, and function down there. So every time you start your day with high sugar or caffeine, you're basically kicking your hormones in the teeth. And the worst part? No one warns you, not even your doctor, because it seems so normal. But Frank learned the hard way. His brain fog got worse. His waistline thickened. And he started waking up less and less ready, if you know what I mean. What used to be spontaneous and strong became unpredictable. And that's when he knew something had to change. So what was really going on? And what can you do instead? That's what we'll uncover next. Most men think they're making the right choice by fueling up early in the day. But what if that fuel is actually flooding your system with silent stress? When Frank got his blood work back, his doctor barely glanced at it before saying, "Everything's within range." But Frank didn't feel fine. His sleep was broken. His drive was low. And intimate performance? Let's just say, the spontaneity had left the room. What no one told him, and what few mainstream sources even acknowledge, is how vulnerable male hormones are in the first 2 hours after waking up. See, during sleep, your body builds up crucial reserves of testosterone. It's nature's way of preparing you for the day. But the wrong morning habits, especially spiking your blood sugar too early, blunt that hormone rise. And that includes not just sugar-loaded juices but also sweetened coffee creamers, pastries, and even healthy granola bars. That's because high blood sugar triggers a surge in insulin, which directly interferes with testosterone production and nitric oxide balance. And that's bad news for circulation, especially in areas where blood flow matters the most. You might notice slower recovery after workouts, or the feeling that your body isn't responding like it used to. And while it's easy to chalk that up to age for many men, it's this exact morning mistake that's setting the tone for the rest of their hormonal day. But here's the real kicker. This damage doesn't show up overnight. It builds little by little, until one day you wake up and wonder, where did my energy go? So the question becomes, what should you do instead? And how can you fix this without giving up everything you enjoy? We'll get to that next. But first, if you've ever felt like your doctor isn't telling you the full truth about aging as a man, you're not alone. That's why we make videos like this. So if you want to stay ahead of the curve, tap that subscribe button right now. Because the next tip might just change your mornings, and your life, forever. If you're over 50 and still starting your day with orange juice, you might be doing more harm than good, especially to your energy, hormones, and even your intimate function. Let me explain. Frank thought he was making the smart move by switching from sugary cereal to a heart-healthy breakfast of whole grain toast and a glass of 100% orange juice. But what he didn't realize was that his blood sugar was spiking hard just 10 minutes after breakfast. And with that spike came a flood of insulin, which, over time, dampens testosterone production and throws your metabolism out of balance. That means by 11 a.m., Frank was already crashing, tired, foggy, and strangely irritable. And here's the kicker. That insulin flood also raises cortisol, your stress hormone. And higher cortisol levels in the morning? They compete directly with testosterone, leading to what doctors politely call reduced male vitality. You know, that frustrating decline in response, sensitivity, and performance. Especially in the region most men don't like to admit is changing. This is why so many men feel fine when they wake up, but hit a wall within hours, and think it's just part of getting older. But the truth is, your body's not broken. It's just reacting to the wrong inputs, especially first thing in the morning, when your hormones are most sensitive. Instead of orange juice, switch to water with a pinch of Himalayan salt and a slice of lemon. This combo hydrates you, provides trace minerals, and supports adrenal balance, without the sugar crash. And for breakfast? Focus on proteins, healthy fats, and slow-burning carbs. Think pasture-raised eggs, avocado, and maybe some steel-cut oats with cinnamon. Because once you fix the start of your day, the rest of your day starts to work with you, not against you. In the next chapter, I'll show you the one pantry ingredient every man over 50 should be using daily, and it's probably sitting in your kitchen right now. There's a powerful little remedy that used to be in every American kitchen, but most men today don't even think about it. It's cheap, natural, and works in under 10 minutes, especially if you've already made the mistake of flooding your body with morning sugar or caffeine. What is it? Plain baking soda, yes, the same one your grandma used to keep in the fridge. But here's the trick, it's not about using it for cleaning or baking. A small pinch of baking soda, mixed into a glass of water with a splash of lemon juice, can neutralize excess acid, reduce inflammation, and help support your kidneys and adrenals, which are crucial for hormone balance. Why does this matter? Because when your body wakes up, it's already in a slightly dehydrated, acidic state. And if you add coffee, sugar, or even high-carb, healthy breakfasts, you push your pH even further into imbalance. That stress? It shows up first in digestion, then in your energy levels, and yes, even in your masculine function. You might notice less firmness, less sensitivity, or just less drive overall. That's not just aging. That's your body reacting to inflammation and cortisol spikes. And if you're over 50, these small chemical stressors add up faster than they used to. But the good news? You can reset the system with a simple tonic, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, juice from half a lemon, and 8 to 10 ounces of warm water. Drink it before your first meal, not after. It's a folk remedy backed by science, and many men report noticeable improvements in digestion, focus, and even libido within days. Try it for a week and track how you feel before and after breakfast. Because sometimes, fixing what's broken doesn't take a pill, it takes remembering what our grandparents already knew. And in the next chapter, we'll talk about a healthy morning supplement that may be silently lowering your testosterone. Stay with me, that one might be sitting on your shelf right now. You've probably seen it advertised as natural energy support or vitality booster for men over 50. But this one over-the-counter supplement, often labeled with words like male support, testosterone health, or vitality complex, might be working against your body. It's packed with synthetic compounds that mimic stimulation but actually suppress your body's natural hormonal rhythm. The result? A short-term boost that feels good for a few hours, followed by a long-term crash that's much harder to recover from after age 50. Worse, these blends often include hidden ingredients that can increase estrogen or blunt your body's testosterone response, especially if your liver isn't in top shape. And guess what gets hit first? Your gut, your brain fog, and eventually, your reproductive strength. Yes, I'm talking about the sensitive hormonal communication between your brain and your lower glands. The part of your health no man wants to talk about until it's already fading. Your body stops producing what it needs to function like it used to, and no supplement can replace that once it's gone. If you've ever taken one of these pills and felt jittery, sweaty, or even slightly irritable afterward, that's your nervous system waving a red flag. Now, here's what to do instead. Focus on nourishing foods that gently support testosterone from the root. like soaked pumpkin seeds, Brazil nuts, for selenium, and cooked onions in olive oil. These are slow builders, not quick fixes, but they rebuild the foundation that many vitality supplements quietly strip away. And hey, if this video is helping you catch these silent threats to your health, hit that subscribe button right now. Because the next tip will expose a healthy breakfast option that's been silently linked to lower morning arousal in men over 50. And trust me, you do not want to miss that one. What if I told you the cereal you're eating every morning is doing more damage than a donut? That's not an exaggeration, because most boxed cereals, even the ones labeled heart healthy, are ultra-processed and loaded with synthetic additives. They spike your blood sugar within 30 minutes, only to crash it shortly after, leaving your energy, mood, and hormonal balance in chaos. And when blood sugar crashes frequently, your body releases excess cortisol, a stress hormone that lowers testosterone and blunts morning vitality. In men over 50, this creates a dangerous loop: low energy in the morning, poor metabolic response at lunch, and nighttime cravings that ruin sleep. Even cereals marketed to men's health often contain soy derivatives or added plant estrogens, compounds that subtly interfere with androgen receptors. The result? A slow decline in performance, focus, and even drive. And yes, we're talking about the kind of drive that starts first thing in the morning. Your body's natural signal to prepare for intimacy, the subtle neurological and circulatory processes, depends heavily on stable glucose and hormone levels. Cereal ruins both. What should you eat instead? Try a warm bowl of steel-cut oats with ground flaxseed, cinnamon, and a tablespoon of peanut butter. It slows glucose absorption and supports hormone health. Or go savory: eggs with turmeric and black pepper, plus sautéed spinach in olive oil, a powerful combination for men's vitality. And remember, your first meal sets the tone for the entire day. If you want to feel sharp, strong, and fully alive, skip the box, and fuel the man you're meant to be. In the next chapter, we'll uncover how one innocent-looking morning habit might be suppressing your body's ability to absorb key nutrients, and why this matters more after 50 than ever before. You think it's helping you wake up. You think it's giving you energy, clarity, and that morning spark. But in reality, that cup of piping hot coffee you're reaching for before anything else might be draining the very vitality you're trying to reclaim. Here's what no one's told you: drinking coffee first thing in the morning, especially on an empty stomach, sends your cortisol levels on a roller coaster. Cortisol, your body's natural get up and go hormone, is already at its peak in the early morning. When you add caffeine too early, you force your adrenal system to spike even higher, only to crash sooner and harder later in the day. Over time, this leads to adrenal fatigue, sluggish mornings, brain fog, and even reduced testosterone output. Yes, reduced. Because men's hormonal balance depends on steady cortisol rhythms, not wild surges that trick your system into overcompensating. And that daily crash? It doesn't just affect your mood or motivation. It silently disrupts your body's ability to regulate blood flow, circulation, and function where it matters most, including those delicate processes tied to male reproductive health. Studies show that chronic overconsumption of caffeine in the early hours may decrease nitric oxide levels, which are vital for healthy circulation down there. That's why some men feel off, without knowing why. They've been following a habit that slowly depletes them over years. What should you do instead? Hydrate first, with warm water and a pinch of sea salt or lemon. This gently signals your digestion, balances your blood pressure, and gives your organs the green light without shocking your system. Then eat something, even something small, before sipping coffee. Your adrenal glands will thank you. So will your brain. And yes, so will your masculine energy. And hey, if you've made it this far into the video, you clearly care about your health. So take a moment and subscribe right now. We've got more powerful, natural health tips coming that can transform your energy, hormones, and confidence after 50. Next chapter? We're exposing one healthy supplement that could silently sabotage your entire morning routine, and what to use instead. If you've been doing mornings on autopilot, it's time to wake up literally. The biggest damage isn't always caused by what we add, but by what we keep repeating, without questioning. And the truth is, most men over 50 follow morning routines that made sense in their 30s, but are now silently working against their hormonal balance, energy, and confidence. But here's the good news: your body wants to come back into balance. You just need to give it the right signals, not stress hormones first thing, not caffeine on an empty stomach, and definitely not scrolling through bad news in bed. Start your mornings with 3 simple upgrades. First, hydrate before anything else, preferably warm water with lemon and a pinch of unrefined salt. Second, move your body gently for just 3 to 5 minutes. This gets your blood flowing, including where it matters most for circulation and male vitality. Third, add a real breakfast with healthy fats, some protein, and avoid sugar spikes. Even a boiled egg with oatmeal and cinnamon can stabilize your blood sugar and testosterone. These aren't tricks. This is real biology. And the sooner you adjust, the sooner your body begins restoring what's been lost: strength, clarity, and yes, performance. Because here's the part no one tells you: male health after 50 isn't about fighting decline. It's about understanding the signals, making small changes, and letting nature support you again, with less stress and more power. So if this video opened your eyes, share it with a friend who's been feeling off and doesn't know why. And make sure you're subscribed, because what we're sharing next might be even more important. The one health food that men over 50 should avoid at all costs, especially if they care about stamina, heart health, and what happens in the bedroom. It's not what you think, and skipping it could change your life.